I grew up, before iPhones and social media, and I grew up with a bike. And so in middle school and high school, the bicycle was my ticket to freedom, to being able to leave the house and eventually leave the neighborhood. And I rode for enjoyment, and then I began riding competitively in high school and doing 50-milers, 100-milers, races. And so that just transitioned into motorcycles when I got older and could afford to get into motorcycles. I started with a Kawasaki and I had a Ducati, but BMW, my third bike was a BMW, and that's pretty much all I've had since then. I'm brand loyal to them, mostly because I do my own wrenching and I know how to work on them, and they haven't let me down. I've got almost 400,000 miles on BMWs since 2000, and I enjoy them. So currently I've got 4 motorcycles. I've got 2 old bikes. I've gotten into the vintage, the Airheads from the 1970s. I got involved in that about 5 or 6 years ago. And then I've got 2 modern BMWs that I use for travel and for distance. If I'm just going out with buddies, even if it's a long distance trip, we plan it in advance using maps, and I have GPSs on the bike, but I like paper maps a lot. I grew up with that, and we'll ride half the day and then see the sights, national parks or whatever. But if it's a competitive event like the Iron Butt Rally, at the start of the rally they'll give you a packet, and it'll be a GPX file, and it'll be a spreadsheet with bonus listings scattered all over the country with different point values and different availability. Some are daylight only, some are 24 hours, some are available only on a particular day. And you have to use a routing software and try to come up with the route that will maximize your points while also getting you back to the finish line or getting you to the checkpoint on time. So the competitive part I really enjoy. But there's not a lot of anticipation ahead of time about where you're going, because you have no idea where you're going, and it's all about that scavenger hunt of collecting the bonuses that you can reasonably collect and safely ride that will maximize the points. I read a lot, and I love travel logs, and some of the books that we read in class deal with travel, epic journeys across the country. And I try to instill in my students that there is a big world out there, and the world doesn't end at the county line or at the state line. And if they have an interest in traveling, that they definitely should get out there and experience it for themselves. I do it on a motorcycle. You could do it in a Greyhound bus or on a train. To not be afraid, to put yourself out there and be a little vulnerable and see how people are living elsewhere and see what the world is about. One of the things that I love about riding motorcycles, and I'm always interested in talking with new riders or people that are exploring the idea who don't know what it's about. Robert Persig wrote that when you're in a car, when you're traveling by a car, you're in that compartment and you're so used to it that out the windshield, everything you're seeing is just more television, it's just more TV. But on a bike, the experiences that we have, my wife and I rode through California last summer, and we could smell the orchards. We could smell the oranges and the citrus, and you smell fresh cut grass like we have outside here. You may not, be getting wet if you're geared up for the rain, but you smell the rain. And if it's hot, you're going to be hot. And so the experience of riding a motorcycle, I feel like you're more fully in the world and in the environment that you're moving through. And that's one of the things that I really love about it more than anything.